Man, wake up. Wake up, man. Wake up, man. You gonna make me curse, man. Wake up.
Hi, this is James, and welcome back to
Man, what's
Storytime
wrong
with
with you?
James. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave me a comment if you like. And if you would, bless my Cash App. Bless my Cash App so I can get more acrylic paint, masking tape, and paint brushes. It's just that simple. It's for my art. You can view my art on maskingtapetreasures.com. Okay? All right. Well, this one is just simply called Moe's. Yeah. Look, Moe's was a restaurant. Not a restaurant, but it was like for dining and everything. But it was a restaurant. And it was my first job, my first real job. My first real job where I got a check. And this was in the 80s, so it had to be 83, 84, something like that. Look, once I got hired, my friend told me about this job. The thing is, we had been making our money, not the right way, the bad way. And my friend told me about this job. He said, "Look, you can get a job, man, and make your money." So I went down there and had an interview, and they hired me. Okay. And this was operated by a father, a mother, and a daughter. Okay. Father and mother and a daughter. All right. So once I got hired there, they sent me straight to the back to wash dishes. Yes. Had me washing dishes. But it was a job, so and they were throwing pots and everything in there. And I had to scrub these pots out, wash them, and just dry everything. They were really sending them back to me too. I was washing plates, glasses, everything. But this was my first job, so I tried to stick in there, okay? Okay, the father's name was I'm gonna call the father Tim. Tim. Mr. Tim would was like a bully, like he was mean. And the mother would try to act nice, but she was mean too. And then the daughter was in between them, like she was older than me. She was way older than me. I think she was in her late 40s. So the father had me slaving back there. He would tell, and they used to call me Junebug. Okay? They used to call me Junebug. I don't know why, but they used to call me Junebug, because my nickname is June. So they called me Junebug. Okay. So he said, Junebug, get these dishes out of here. Get these pots out of here now. And I was washing, and then he would come and he'd see a little speck in there. He'd make me wash the whole thing again. So I don't know. I guess it was a learning experience, but it sucked. I'm gonna tell you the truth. It sucked. All right. So they used to play this music too. They used to play it wasn't a CD, it was a tape. It was a tape that used to loop over and over, over and over. And they used to play like the same songs every day. To the point where I learned the lyrics to the songs. And all of us used to know the songs. Used to every time they Foolish Heart and all of this stuff. It was like a 70s tape or something. But it used to loop over and over, over and over. And it was actually kind of cool. Oh Lord, look what you done to me. You never thought I'd fall again so easily. Oh Lord. Man, that's all. Every time I hear one of those songs, it takes me back to those times, you know. Well, anyway, after washing dishes for almost a year, you know, almost a year. Then Mr. Tim came back to me and said, "Look, uh Junebug, I need you to take this to the merchandise mart." This was in Chicago. Actually, this was on Rush Street, okay? That's where Moe's was, you know. And Mr. Tim told me to take a delivery to the merchandise mart, okay? And I told him I don't have no car. So he said, get this to the merchandise mart. This is the delivery. And he gave me a ticket and told me the person's name that it was supposed to go to and everything. So I got the food and I ran. But I used to run a lot, you know, run distance and stuff. So I ran and I got it there, delivered it, and they gave me the money and they gave me a tip. Mm-hmm. They gave me like a $20 tip for getting it there so fast, you know. So I took the tip out of there and the money for the food I kept in my hand, you know. So when I got back there, I said, here's your money, here's the ticket and everything. He said, all right, good. He said, did he tip you? Did he tip you? I said, yeah, he gave me $2 or something. He said, okay, good. And he let me keep that. But man, so after that, apparently somebody called back to the restaurant and said, send me back. Let me deliver, because I get their stuff there fast, you know. And that was it. No more dishes. You know, I wasn't doing dishes, you know. I was delivering. So they would have like brisket, beef brisket, uh, Italian beef, you know, Italian stallion. They had a lot of stuff, you know, but Italian beef was delicious. And their chili was delicious. It was hot. It was hot, but that's the way I like it. It's good. It was good. So I would deliver chili and stuff like that to the Playboy thing where they made the magazines and stuff. I would deliver food there. And they would drop me off good tips. And they would tell me too. They said, don't say nothing about these tips we're giving you. Don't say nothing. You know. So I didn't say nothing, you know, because they knew that they were going to, that the restaurant takes some of your tips from you, you know. If you make too much money, they're going to take it from you, you know. So after that, then they gave us a paper, some type of paper they typed up or something. And it said that they can get a percentage of our tips, okay? So even the waitresses, they got a percentage of their tips. And I didn't like that. I didn't like that. So I just kept doing what I was doing. I didn't say nothing, you know. So, man, I was making $20 at one time. Everybody in a meeting that I delivered some stuff to, I went up there, and when I delivered it to them, everybody went in their pocket and gave me some money. Here, everybody. It was like 20 people in that meeting, and each one of them gave me some money. My pockets were bulging full of that money, you know. So I said, man, this is cool, man. Then one day, this lady named Terry, Her name Terry. I'm just gonna call her Terry. That's not a real name. Terry was the cook, and she was like I think she was Jamaican or something, or a Geechee woman or something like that. I don't know what she was, but she was like, she had a recipe of minestrone soup. Yeah. And people would flock in there for this minestrone soup. So one day, Mr. Tim came to Terry and said, look, he had a pen and a paper. He said, okay, tell me your recipe to your minestrone soup. Tell me your recipe. Because they were planning on getting rid of her. But they knew they couldn't get rid of her because her minestrone soup was in popular demand. So they had to get her recipe. So she told them, she said, no, I'm not going to give you I can't give you my recipe. I cook the soup and then you serve, that's it. I can't give you my recipe. So they was so mean to her, and they fired her. And he thought he can analyze the soup and get the ingredients and stuff like that. Because I heard him say it. He said, I've got a scientist that'll analyze this and tell me what's in it, So, but Terry wasn't worried about it. She said, they may find out all the ingredients that I put in there, but they don't know how much I put in. Okay? So Terry left, and I felt sorry. I felt bad for her because they got rid of her for nothing. So after getting these tips, I was getting like $200 or $300 from tips alone, every day, and I wasn't reporting them, So then then Mr. Tim told me, he said, hey, look here, I'll find out if you're getting tips or not, because those are my friends that you're delivering to. They'll tell me. So I got kind of scared about it, but I couldn't stop doing it. Then I was making money, man. So then I was there, and I had a party I wanted to go to that night. Because I used to frequent the parties every weekend. Every weekend I would go to parties, He put me on a schedule for Saturday. And so I said, why you put me on a schedule? I thought I was off. He said, I need you to work. You're going to work. That's it. Man, I wanted to swing on him, but I stayed. Okay. Then it was getting like about 5, 6 o'clock. So it was time for me to go. So I said, all right, I'm finished. And I cleaned the kitchen and everything like that. He came back. He said, hold on a second. Let me inspect it. So I was standing back there. He came back there. He said, all right. He's pulling stuff from the wall, pulling the meat cutters and stuff like that. Shh. Clean back here. Clean this. Oh, my goodness. Look at this. He just trying to find stuff. So it really made me mad. But still, I kind of got out there a little late, but I was able to get to the party. But I was tired, So I partied. I came back to work, and it was just like he had it out for me. I came back, and he took me off the deliveries, because he couldn't track the money, So he took me off of it and put somebody else on. Man, I was so mad, man. Then he had me to clean the restrooms out. So I put disinfectant on the floor, and I mopped it, and I put disinfectant in the toilets and the urinal, and had the scrub thing. And then when I did it, he went in to inspect the restroom, and he came and he said, Junebug, Junebug, come back here. I said, yeah. He said, look in the toilet. And there was a quarter in there. He threw a quarter in the toilet. He said, reach in there and take that out of there. Take that out of there. So I said, no, I'll fish it out with a stick or something. He said, man, just reach in the toilet. Take it out. Now, reach in there and take it out. And I wouldn't take it out. So he said, it's just water. He took the cord out of it. I said, well, that's you. If you unsanitary like that, I'm not going to reach in no toilet like that. And he stormed out of the restroom. And then he really had it out for me. So this kept going on. He kept nitpicking. Then one day he was leaving. He said he's getting ready to leave, okay? And his wife was taking over while he left. And he was getting ready to leave. And I was getting off. I was getting ready to follow him to the parking garage. And I was going to beat the crap out of him. That's how mad I was. But something stopped me from doing it. Something stopped me. Well, I was getting ready to beat the crap out of him. And then when he was leaving, he said, all right, Junebug, have a nice day. And he got nice to me all of a sudden. So that just slowed me down right there. So then he came back to work. This was on Monday. Came back to work. And I was late to work. And you know what? He suspended me. Suspended me for 2 days, you know. And, you know, I got used to having a certain amount of money on each check, you know. But he suspended me for 2 days. And that really made me mad. So then I started looking for another job. I really started looking for another job. But I didn't have too much qualifications, you know, because I was just starting out, you know, just starting out working, you know. So this was my first job, you know. So I was looking for a job in the paper and stuff like that. Couldn't find nothing. I would call them. They would call me in for an interview, and then nobody called me. So that same friend, he came to me. He said, hey, I got it's employment agency, and his name Bush. He'll get you a job. He got me a job at some candy factory, Brock's Candy Factory, you know. And I said, oh, that sounds cool. He said, you need to go down there. He said, but you got to pay him. I think it was like $20 or something. Pay him $20. He'll find you a job, you know. So on my off day, I went down to Bush Employment, okay? Then Bush Employment, I got in a building that that the address was on. And then I got on the elevator, and the elevator was so old. It was like one of those elevators that they had to operate, that they had to pull the handle to make it go up. And it was a man in there. Excuse me. It was a person in there. He said, what floor? I said, 10th floor. It was crazy. So I got out, and I'm walking around, and these hallways they looked like crap, okay? So I thought I was getting ready, something's going to happen to me or something. So I knocked on the door, bump, 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 bump. And the door came open, and he said, come in. And he sounded like Mr. Terry, you know, Mr. Tim. He sounded like Mr. Tim. So like a mafia-like voice. Come in, you know. So I walked in there and his desk was up high. And the chairs that he wanted us to sit in were low to the ground, you know. So he's up on this big podium, like with a cigar in his mouth. And it was a light hanging down. Picture a light a string hanging down, a cord with a light bulb on it, and it was swinging. And he's up there. Yeah, yeah, you got my money. I said, yeah, you got a job for me. He said, give me the money, all right. So I gave him the $20. He handed it to him. He took it. He said, all right, let's see here. Okay. All right. You will show up here Thursday, all right? Show up here Thursday and don't disappoint me. And he was blowing so much smoke, and the whole room was smoked out. So I said, where? He said, 777 West Chicago. You capiche? Yeah. So he wrote it on, tore a piece of paper and wrote it on there. You go over here. Here. Hand it down to me. I took it. He said, you will go there. You will work. Okay? Capiche? Yeah. Don't disappoint me. All right? Do not disappoint me. I said, I won't. So I left there with the torn piece of paper. Told me to go to 777 West Chicago. So this was, when I was riding over there, I noticed Cabrini Greens was over to the side, you know. So I didn't pay it no mind though. So when I got there, I got to the Tribune Freedom Center and I walked in and people were looking at me. I felt out of place, you know, because everybody was doing what they supposed to be doing their little duties and stuff. So I went in there and they said, what are you here for? I said, well, Bush sent me. He said, who? I said, Bush. He said, come on in, come on. So I said, this guy must got ties in with somebody or something. So I went inside, into there, and then they told me I had to. It was like 10 of us that showed up there. So we were going to, it's like a training thing, and whoever didn't do good, they were going to choose 3 of us out of that 10, you know. So I went to work there, and then I just quit Moe's. I just quit. You know, I left them high and dry, you know. But I worked that last day. We supposed to work 3 days and then they choose who's going to be permanent, okay? So after that 3rd day, we was in a locker room and changing our clothes, you know. So, you know, to our street clothes, you know. So then it was one of the foremen came in there and he had a stack of papers. He said, he was calling people names. He was handing them their paper. Yellow slip, pink slip, you know, something like that. So when he gave me mine, I was scared to look. So I said, oh man. And I got the position. So I started working, you know. And I worked there for about a year, you know. About a year, you know. So I worked there for a year, and then that's when I branched off to to UPS, you know. So that was a good experience too. That job was a good experience too. But Mo's, when I had to go down there to get my last check, he said, jump out, jump out. Yeah, you left us, huh? All right. So you got to wait. You got to wait. So I was sitting out there, sitting at the bar, you know, and the customers knew me. Say, hey, Junebug, way to go, Junebug. Yeah, yes. And I was like, man, all right, you know. And he came out there and gave me my check. He told me, he said, you can't come back again. Where you working at now? Where you work? I said, oh, I work at the Chicago Tribune. He said, what? I said, yeah, I work at the Chicago Tribune, you know. He said, oh, wait, great. Okay, go. You know, I guess he was salty with me. But, man, I know he's probably passed on now because he was real old, you know, him and his wife, you know, and they were in bad health. They smoked those cigars and stuff like that. But, you know, that taught me work ethic, and it taught me how to be on time and everything like that, you know. So it was kind of a good experience, you know. And then I made a lot of friends there, you know. So I wouldn't take nothing from it, but this guy was just a mean old man, you know. All right. Okay, y'all. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave me a comment if you like. And hit that bell notification. Hit that bell notification so that you know every time I drop another video. And share. Share my videos with everyone. Share them with your loved ones. Share them with your family. Share them with your friends. And share them with your enemies. Yes. All right. Peace. Adios. Salamat. Chair dance.